So what is it like teaching in China right now? This year they've had a lot of new rules passed to be able to teach in China. Stay tuned. Hey guys, so teaching English in China is something that pretty much anyone can do as long as you can speak English and you have a TEFL, a teaching English as a foreign language. Anybody can come and get a job in China. Well, that's how it was before. So I know I updated a video not that long ago about non-native teachers teaching English in China and how you don't always need to have a degree to teach English in China. That had made a few people upset in the comments, but I really don't care. They're going off of third-hand information and I'm going off of, I live here. I deal with this daily. So recently, they passed some new laws in Beijing. Now this happens constantly. New laws get passed from time to time, and it takes a while for everyone to adjust. Typically, they're not followed. It's easily just passed off. However, this time, they're kind of tightening up on some things. These laws mainly affect teachers who are from non-native speaking countries and also teachers who do not have a degree. Before, you could easily buy a fake degree and say that you went to school for whatever, and nobody checked, nobody cared. Now, however, you don't only need to have it all checked and it needs to be printed and look real, but you also have to take it and get it notarized at your embassy. So I would have to take mine and go to the US embassy and get it notarized and stamped and then turn it in. They're trying to cut down on the amount of fake teachers that are here because there are many. Can you come to China and teach without a degree? Yes, it's possible. You can still come, but you're not going to be teaching legally. You will be asked to teach on a tourist visa or a work visa. That'll be an L visa or an M visa. This is illegal, and if you are caught, you will be deported. You will not be able to get a teaching license and a teaching visa, which is a work visa, a Z visa. You will be, and if you do get offered a Z visa and you do not have a degree, then it's not going to be a teaching visa. It's not going to be a teaching license. You will probably get a management visa. So it's still a Z visa. It's still a working visa. You're allowed to work in China, but you're not allowed to teach in China. There are a lot of different loopholes that people exploit. You can find agents who can take care of this. However, before you could just pop it over into Hong Kong and file the paperwork and then come back. Now you are required to go back to your home country. There are ways around this, however. Last July, I had to get a Z visa. I was on an M visa and needed a Z visa. So I was gonna go into Hong Kong, send in my papers, file my papers, and then get my Z visa and come right back. Plenty of my friends have done this in the past. However, it's not legal anymore. You can't do it. So what did I have to do? I didn't want to fly back to America and do all the paperwork there. Instead, I went to Thailand and I contacted an agency in America who do the mail order visas. I sent off my passport and everything, which meant I could not leave Thailand. I had to stay where I was. They filed the paperwork and sent it back in a week. No problem. I did not have to go back home. So there are ways around it. I actually have a friend who used a fake degree and applied recently for his Z visa, and it was turned down. So then he went and he hired an agent, paid an agent, I don't know how much, 1,000 kwai I believe, to get an invitation letter for an M visa, which is a business visa. Legally, you are not allowed to teach on this. So then he had to go and he had to file in his home country. So he did that, came back and he's got it, but immediately after his school was raided. they are going to be checking. Schools do get rated, and usually whenever you work on a ZV or an M visa or an L visa, a business visa or a tourist visa, and your school's going to get rated, they will tell you. They will warn you in advance and tell you not to come in. Or tell you, oh, the police are coming, so go out the back door. You get warned, you get told, and if you don't, you can actually be arrested. When I first moved here, we had some friends who were arrested at their school, but there was some other issues that was going on with them as well. So they were arrested for 3 days and then went back and started working for the same school again, all for having worked on a M visa. So that's something you have to deal with. You can be deported. It doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. You can be arrested. Again, it doesn't happen very often, but it does happen. These are risks that you have to take if you're teaching illegally. But think about it. If you are teaching English in Italy, Spain, France, anywhere in the EU, and you're an American, it's illegal. You can't do it. They can't get you a working visa to do it, so you legally cannot be doing it. It's not just China, it's everywhere. And you have to take the same risks. You still leave every 3 months. You still plan your life around it. You still travel, but you're here to travel. You're here to make money, to save money. Everybody has their own reasons. What does that have to do with non-native speakers? Well, Beijing has passed another new law for non-native speakers. In that law, they say that if you want to teach English in China and you are a non-native speaker, you must have a degree from a native English-speaking country. So it is very, very difficult right now to get positions for non-native speakers that are legit with a Z visa. I know my number one audience are non-native speakers, so a lot of people ask me constantly, how is it for a non-native speaker to get a teaching job here? Before it was so easy, really, really easy. Now it's just getting a little more difficult. It is possible. You could still get a Z visa as a non-native speaker, and you could still get a Z visa as someone without a degree or a fake degree. You find an agent and you can pay them and get it taken care of that way. They won't be legal. You won't legally be allowed to teach. You will legally be allowed to be a manager, let's say. Some schools offer you Z visa for China Mobile, even though you're a teacher. So it just depends. I still know teachers who are here on tourist visas or here on business visas, and they still teach. They've had no problems, and they've gotten here in the last few months. So it's really at your own risk. You can do it. It's perfectly fine. A lot of people do it. This is just Beijing's way of trying to hide it or make it look like it's more legit because they're not going to offer Z visas for non-native speakers anymore. But the problem with that is what they're doing really is opening it for a lot of fakes, a lot of people to be here illegally. If you'd like to be updated every time I upload a new video, click the subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below. And don't forget, if you like this video, found it useful, give it a thumbs up. It really does help a lot. So yeah, while these new laws are making it a little more difficult to come teach in China, especially for non-degree holders and non-native speakers, it is still possible. But this time I want you to tell me down in the comment section below why you are not here. What's holding you back from coming to China? Is it you want to go to another country? Is it you're afraid, you're worried about what's going to happen, you want more money? Whatever the reason, what is stopping you from coming to China? As I said, my biggest problem whenever I was wanting to move abroad and teach English was I always made an excuse. I can't, that's not something I could really do. That's not something that people like me do. It's not possible for people like me. All that was me being in my head. So now I want to hear from you. What's holding you back? It may not be from teaching in China. What's holding you back from your dreams? Until next time, Zaijian.